You could be so successful that it blinds you. You could be so successful, you can have so much money that it blinds you. You can be so famous that it blinds you. And you're like, dang, what it blind you of? What it blind you from? It blinds you from seeing your truth, from having a true perspective of who you really are. It blinds you and causes you, success can blind you so much that it causes you to forget your youth. It can cause you to forget who you are. You can have so much money and so much success that it blinds you to the fact that you don't even know how to relate to anybody that's struggling anymore because you forgot your youth. You forgot who you were when you struggle financially. And what up, everybody, man? It's your boy JK. Today is Thursday, so you already know what it is. It's Tackle Thursday with JK, live on IG, live on Facebook, and I'm recording from a YouTube channel, Jeremy Kellem, which after this episode of the podcast, y'all can go and subscribe, click, like, share. Today we are tackling remember your youth. Remember your youth. All right, that's what we tackling today, man. And so when I'm saying remember your youth, I understand, you feel me, to where when I'm saying youth, you think about your childhood probably, right? Because you're like, man, I'm a youth. You know what I'm saying? When I was a youth, I'm a youngster. And you thinking about, man, okay, remember my youth. But when I'm saying remember your youth, I'm not just saying remember your childhood. Or I'm not just pertaining to that area of youth or in that way. But when I say remember your youth, I'm talking about remembering your youth pertaining to the beginning stages, the earlier days, right, of your relationship. Remember your youth. Like, remember who you were when you and your spouse first started dating. You might have didn't have a nice car. You might have didn't have, money. I remember my car I had, man, my Saturn. I call it, my Beamer, right? And I remember my whip that I had and my wife, Brittany, we was leaving the game. I think this was like one of our, second or third dates. We went to the game together. So she rode in the car. I got in the Beamer. And as we leaving, right, the game, all the students, the fans coming from the game, and they walking in the parking lot, they passing your car because you didn't pull it out. And my brakes was screeching so loud. They like, arr! And it was so embarrassing, right? And so I got to keep that in my mind. I got to remember how my wife met me. Because remembering my youth in my relationship, remembering my youth and how I was when my wife first met me keeps me humble, right? Because now I can try to act all brand new and I got this going. I'm doing this. I got this going for myself. But she could look at me and is like, nah, bro, like, remember your youth. Like, remember when I first met you, how you really were, right? When we look at, when I say remembering your youth, like, think about Barack Obama. You feel me? Like, my boy, the president, right? He was the president of the United States of America. And so anytime Barack act brand new, Michelle could have just humbled that boy and said, you remember when you had that car with that hole in the floor, right? And so when I'm talking about remembering our youth, I'm talking about remembering where we once were or how we started, or, right? Think about your business. Remember your youth in your business, right? You got to remember your youth in your business. Because how you may be doing in your business right now is not how you always was doing, right? So we got to remember our youth and our business. How did you start? What was the struggle? Remember that struggle, all right? We can, it's so much financially. Remembering your youth financially. Remember where you once were in your finances. Yeah, you might rock the red bottoms, Louis. You know what I'm saying? You rocking designer clothes. You going on these amazing trips out the country, out the world, and you balling. But you got to remember your youth. You got to remember where you once were financially, when maybe you was couch surfing or or maybe, you know what I'm saying, you didn't have enough money to get a car, so you Ubering. But now you getting chauffeured to different things because now you balling. Now your money in a whole different place, right? So when I'm talking about remember your youth, I'm saying remember who you were, what you were, when you were in the genesis, or when you was in the beginning of whatever it is you were, whether it be when you was in your earlier stages of your marriage or your relationship, when you was in the earlier stages of your financial journey, when you was in the earlier stages of your career, when you was in the earlier stages of your business. We gotta remember our youth, right? And so the thing about, right, remembering our youth, why it's so important, to remember how we started, remember where we came from, remember what it took for us to get to where we are. Why it's so important is because in life, right, we pray for success, right? Like, let's be honest, or at least we should, right? And so we pray, we ask God, right? And we desire success. We desire success. We want success. We pray for success, right? And the thing is that when we get the success, right, God, you know what I'm saying, blesses us with success. And if we're honest, 9 times out of 10, we're probably doing better in areas of our life than when we once were. You know what I'm saying? You might have been single. Now you got a significant other, right? You might have had to ride the bus or Uber. Now you got your own whip. You might have just used to be an employee, but you might have used to be an employee. Now you're a supervisor, right? So if we all are honest, we have prayed for success and worked hard for success, and now we have it. And so we think that the most difficult thing is to get the success. Like that's the most difficult thing. And yes, getting the success is difficult. It's an uphill battle. When I think about football, right? Working my way, trying to, working my way to play professional football, and then, working my way to be a all-arena player and a AFL champion. It was hard work. But when you get the success, your work really just beginning. Because the thing is that once we get success sometimes, our faith now can go from faith in God to faith in what we have, right? So our faith can now go from faith in the what. Our faith can go from faith in the who to faith in the what. So when we wanted success so bad, and we was praying for success, and we was asking God for success, and God, bless me to get the new job, bless me to get the promotion, bless me to get better at this sports, bless me to get better in all these different areas. We was praying and asking God. Our faith was in God. But then when the success came, when the promotion came, when the blessings came, when the money came, when your business blew up, when your name became popular and you started experiencing fame, now guess what? Your faith went from the who, now you started believing in the what. Your faith went into your possessions. So now you started believing, oh, it's me. Like, it's me. Like, this is me, right? And so there's a story in the Bible, in Ezekiel, where this lady, right, when she was a kid, nobody wanted her. When she was a baby, nobody wanted her. Nobody really wanted to take care of her, right? And so she ended up growing up into a beautiful woman, right? And when she grew up into this beautiful woman, she started, her trust went into her beauty. She started to trust her beauty. So now think about it. When she was in her youth, she didn't really look that good. She wasn't attractive. Nobody ain't really want her like that when she was in her youth. Right? Nobody wasn't really checking for her when she was in her youth. Kind of like us, right? Think about it. In the beginning of your business, nobody wasn't checking for your business. Nobody wasn't checking for your food. Nobody wasn't checking for your music. Nobody wasn't checking for your talent or your abilities, right? When you was in your youth. But all of a sudden, you start experiencing some success and things started going crazy for you. People start buying your CD. They start streaming your songs. They start listening to your podcast. They start buying your book, right? People interviewing you. And all of a sudden, you start to experience success. And now, you start to have faith in the what? Or faith in the possessions. Or faith in your ability. And you lose faith in God. Or you lose faith, right? And so, this young lady, she, like I said, in her youth, nobody was checking for her. But she grew up into this beautiful woman, and she put her trust in her beauty. So how many of us out there, we put our trust in our talent? How many of us out there, we put our trust in our business, because our business booming? How many of us out there, we put our trust in our name, because we famous now? How many of us, we put our trust in our money and our gifts? In the what we have, in the what we've been blessed with. So when we pray for success, we pray and ask God, come on, God, bless me to be successful. And then all of a sudden we start to experience success. And now we go from being thankful to God and appreciative to God to now we go to believing in the stuff that we got. And our faith, now we believe that our talents is what's going to get us out of a hole. Our talents is what's going to get us through. Our finances is what's going to resolve the situation. Because, like I say, right? When we pray for success, then we get success. And then all of a sudden, our faith can now go from God to now we start believing in the success. It can go from God to now we start believing in the talents that he blessed us with. So instead of us, so we go from, we go and we start to have faith in the blessing and we neglect the blesser. And that's what the lady, right, in the Bible in Ezekiel, that's what she did. She neglected who looked out for her in her youth, which is God. She neglected him, and once she became beautiful, she started trusting her beauty. Oh yeah, my beauty gonna get me through this. My beauty gonna get me in the door. My beauty gonna, right? And that's how a lot of us are. Nobody went checking for our music. Nobody went checking for our podcast. Nobody went checking for our gifts and our talents. And all of a sudden, what's up? All of a sudden, people start checking for your gifts and your book and your talents and your abilities. They want to interview and talk to you. Now you put your trust in your talents and your money and your gifts. Even though in your youth, you didn't have all that, right? And the thing about why success is so dangerous, man, because like I say, we pray for success. God blesses us with success. And then we start trusting in the blessing opposed to trusting in the blesser, which is God. And then all of a sudden, we can find ourselves being blinded by success. Like that is a real thing, being blinded by success. Like you could be so successful that it blinds you. You could be so successful, you could have so much money that it blinds you. You could have so much success that it blinds you. You could be so famous that it blinds you. And you're like, dang, what it blind you of? What it blind you from? It blinds you from seeing your true from having a true perspective of who you really are. It blinds you and causes you, success can blind you so much that it causes you to forget your youth. It can cause you to forget who you are. You can have so much money and get so up on yourself and full of yourself that you forget that you used to couch surf because you was homeless. You can have so much money and so much success that it blinds you that to the fact that you don't even know how to relate to anybody that's struggling anymore because you forgot your youth. You forgot who you were when you struggled financially. You could have so much success as a CEO of a company that it blinds you from remembering how it once was to be an employee, an entry-level employee. So now you go around treating everybody at your company wrong now because you got success and you the CEO and it has blinded you, but you forgot your youth. You forgot how you used to be when you was at an entry-level job. And so that's the danger of success sometimes. Like we all want it. I want success. But we all gotta be aware that we don't get blinded by our success and end up forgetting our youth. And when I'm saying forgetting our youth, I'm talking about forgetting who you were when you didn't have money. I'm talking about forgetting who you were when you and your spouse started dating. Forgetting who you were when you didn't have anywhere to stay. But now you balling, so you can't even relate to that because you're blinded by the success. Right? And in the Bible, man, in Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 43, right? So like this young lady that I was talking about in the Bible, right? God telling her like, yo, like, God broke it down like nobody wanted you in your youth. Nobody wanted you. Like, nobody wanted you. Like I'm talking about, y'all gotta go read this, bro. Like, God really broke it down to her, like how nobody wanted her, how she was like left, you know what I'm saying? How he had to come and take care of her. He had to clean her. He had to, you know what I'm saying? It just really care for her in her youth. And now she's this beautiful adult. And she's trusting in her beauty now that God gave her instead of trusting in God, just like we do. God give us money, we trust in the money instead of trusting in God. God give us a business, we trust in God, we trust in the business instead of trusting in God. God give us a spouse, we trust in the spouse instead of trusting in God. Why? Because we start to believe and trust in the gift instead of putting our faith in who gave us the gift. Right? And so in Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 43, like this is what God was telling the girl. He said, and this is just a one-liner, right? It's not the whole verse. It says that he said to the girl, he said, you did not remember the days of your youth. And so when we experience success and we start to put our faith in the what and not the who, and we start to put our faith in the gift instead of the one who gave us the gift, when we start to do that, we're treading on some dangerous ground. Because we're treading on some dangerous ground when we do that, because like I say, we start to believe in, we get lost in the sauce. And we start to believe in who we are now. That we get blinded by the success. And so when we get blinded by the success, now we don't see correctly. Now we don't have the right perspective of ourselves. Now we think too highly of ourselves than we ought to because we blinded by our success. And when we do that, you can cause pain for yourself. Pain in relationships. Like it's literally people that have gotten success, you know what I'm saying, and went to a whole nother level and lost relationships because they didn't got the big head. They got blinded by their success. Neglected all the people that held them down when they didn't have nothing. Now, I'm not saying that, hey, when somebody do something for you, you owe everybody everything. No. But it's people in your life that held you down when you ain't have nothing. And so now God has blessed you to be in the opportunity where you could be a blessing to others. And you're going to look at the people that rode with you, that was a rider with you. You're going to look at them like something wrong with them because now you winning. Now you experience success. Right? And so to make sure that we stay guarded and protected from becoming blind to our success or blind from success, and ways to make sure that we don't fall victim to having faith in the gift and not the giver, we got to make sure we remember our youth. Like, we got to make sure we remember our youth. And there are sometimes, man, like, I ain't gonna lie, we forget our youth. Just like in the Bible, God told her, he said, you did not remember the days of your youth. So think about the young lady in the Bible. Beautiful, beautiful adult woman. Think about it. She getting all these compliments. Everybody telling her she beautiful. She ain't thinking about her youth. She ain't thinking about when she used to not look good. She ain't thinking about when things was bad. All she thinking about is how she look now. And I get it, because you don't want to always focus on your past and how bad things used to be. You don't want to always focus on how much money you didn't have. You don't want to always focus on when you was single. You don't want to always focus on when you didn't have a car, when you had a car that was a hoopty and it was breaking down. You don't want to always focus on that. Right? But when we never focus on, when we never think about those things, when we never remember our youth, we run the chance of not remembering where we started. And if we don't remember where we started, sometimes we don't appreciate where we are. Sometimes if we don't remember where we came from, right? If we don't ever glance back and say, dang, I remember I ain't have money to do this. You're not going to ever truly appreciate the amount of money you got now. If you don't ever think back think to yourself like, dang, man, I remember, man, when I was celebrating Valentine's by myself. How you going to truly appreciate the fact that you got somebody on Valentine's Day this year to celebrate with? So we got to remember our youth. And when I say youth, I'm not just talking about your childhood. I'm talking about your youth in terms of the beginning stages of different areas of your life. As a business owner, you got to remember when your business wasn't doing too good. Because it allows you to appreciate where you are. It allows you to stay humble because you realize, man, things could be a whole lot different. You realize, hey, people could not be buying my book right now. I remember when I dropped the book and didn't get no sales. Or when you think about, man, I remember when nobody wasn't getting on my videos. If you don't remember your youth, you're going to lose perspective of your now. So you got to remember your youth. I ain't talking about staying in the past, but you got to remember your youth, because remembering your youth will allow you to have the right perspective of your now. Because when I remember where I once was financially, I can appreciate the money I got in my account now. When I remember when I didn't have anybody by my side, I can appreciate even more my wife now. When I remember when I might have had a career or a job that I didn't like, I can appreciate being able to wake up and go to a job I love. So we got to remember our youth. Because when we don't remember our youth, when we don't remember how we once started, where we once was, if we don't remember that, then we could fall victim to being blinded by our success. And then when we blinded by our success, and we only look through the lenses of our success, and we only see ourselves through the lenses of success, and we could become arrogant. We could become cocky. We could think more highly of ourselves than we ought to. So, man, to sum it up, man, we got to remember our youth. You got to, man. Like, as a football player, I had to remember my youth. Like, I got to remember my youth as a player. I remember when I was in Arizona, I was on a high. You get what I'm saying? But I got to remember in New Orleans, I was on third team. So when I think about when I was on third team, I can appreciate, all right, now I'm starting. Oh, okay, well, now we in the Arena Bowl. But I got to remember my youth. All right, so, man, that's what I got for today, man. Hey, y'all wake up. Continue to wake up, strive to win on purpose. Be intentional about winning. All right, and y'all have a blessed day. I appreciate y'all.